is a vital space between stopping drinking, using drugs, or over relying on other unhealthy coping and being in recovery and healing. Last week, I talked about the science of what causes a substance use disorder. This week, we're talking about the science of recovery. Specifically, we're talking about the space between stopping the drinking, drug use, or process addiction and recovery. Welcome back to my channel. I create content, support, and resources for professionals and other high achievers who want to address their substance use issue with positive tools, leveraging the science of positive habits. So, just stopping drinking, using, or a process addiction is what allows for recovery to happen or makes space for healing, but is not in and of itself recovery. There's a cliche but true statement in the recovery community: if nothing changes, nothing changes. An even older one from AA is the same man will drink again. If a person stops the behavior but doesn't move into thinking and behaving and operating in ways that have positive brain changing impact, the default neural pathways of unhealthy coping return. Even more importantly, that person fails to establish a routine and a life that supports a robust and enjoyable sobriety. When this happens, that's when I get clients and family members or other feedback, and they say things like, treatment doesn't work, or the relapse rate is so high, or AA or other mutual help doesn't work, or other myths, which is a whole other video. When substances or behaviors are stopped, but healthy, positive habits are not initiated, that means that an enthusiastic brain that seeks sober, contentedness, and enjoyable sobriety isn't built. I use the word built intentionally here because one of my analogies for successful treatment intervention is toolboxes. It's important that we understand that drinking, using drugs, and other unhealthy habits are tools. They serve purposes. They're not healthy ways to get needs met, and they usually have short, intermediate, and long term consequences, but they do have functional benefits. They are tools people come to rely on. Therefore, in order to successfully change negative habits, people seeking recovery need to equip a new toolbox to get their needs met in healthy, productive ways. My approach of this is to leverage the power of the science of positive habits by building a new toolbox. That means literally building a new brain. Going back to my mantra of what is psychological is biological, what you think about and do, your body and brain follow. For this next part, remember that I support an individual and custom approach to recovery. I'm going to use an example from the AA text known as the Big Book. In a section written by a medical doctor offering what was, for 1939, a progressive view of alcohol use disorder, he wrote the following. Men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. The sensation is so elusive that while they admit it is injurious, they cannot after a time differentiate the true from the false. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. They are restless, irritable, and discontented unless they can again experience the sense of ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks. To put this quote in context, Dr. Silkworth was speaking of people who have an untreated drinking problem. They're sober, but not doing anything to treat the problem. The feelings of restless, irritable, and discontent lead them to resume drinking. The restless, irritable, and discontent represent a dry but unrecovered brain. So the key is to put space filled with science-based recovery habits between not drinking and the feelings. Below, I'm going to give some representations of healthy and unhealthy toolboxes. First is the unhealthy coping: drinking, anger, other substance use, problematic gambling, self-harm, risky sex behavior, overgaming, oversleeping, procrastination, perfectionism, doom scrolling, overuse of social media, oversharing, isolating, other process addictions such as shopping. Now, your healthy coping toolbox should include things like exercise, good nutrition, quality sleep, a nourishing AM and PM routine, creativity, laughter, not at others' expense, contemplative practices such as mindfulness, journaling, meditation, and intentional gratitude practice, contemplative movement, Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, Nia, social connectedness with people who do not have problematic behavior or other unhealthy coping, hobbies, regular being of service or volunteering. I'm going to shift now into how mutual support help can help with this process. So I'm going to give a summary of the healing habits that are accessible in some of the mutual help or peer support options for recovery. In AA or 12 step, if you are participating, there's routine and ritual and social connectedness. There's sponsorship and accountability. And there's a process of transformation in the steps, which include daily reflection, prayer and meditation, repairing relationships, being of service, meaning and purpose. In Women for Sobriety, there's positive reinforcement, which includes approval and encouragement, cognitive strategies, which includes positive thinking, letting the body help, relaxation techniques, meditation, nutrition, and physical exercise, dynamic group involvement. Dharma recovery, renunciation, which is the term for abstinence, setting boundaries, practicing self-care, meditation, which is an anchor part of Dharma recovery, meetings, which is the social connectedness, and it gives the opportunity also for service. What they call the path, which is open-mindedness and discipline. It also relates to meaning and purpose. There is an inventory process, which is personal transformation. They use that to transcend the addictive habits and heal the root causes of the suffering by writing and sharing those inquiries. Community, so love and connection, where they endorse healthy relationships in the recovery community and help people stay on the path. And ongoing growth and progress. They call progress is perfection, and they consider it a lifelong journey. Smart recovery is short and to the point. um, Build and maintain motivation, cope with urges and cravings, manage thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, and live a balanced life. Now, I don't think you need to necessarily join any of those groups or others, such as Celebrate Recovery, secular organizations for sobriety, or Life Ring, but I do believe that everyone's sober toolbox needs to include sober specific social connectedness on some level. You can curate that with a contemplative practice of a gratitude journal, awe in nature walks, returning to a creative hobby, and build a science-informed, robust AM and PM routine. And that might be sufficient for the treatment of your substance use disorder. But stopping using, drinking, and doing, and just stopping there is like driving to MD Anderson's parking lot and saying, treatment didn't work. So again, welcome back to my channel. I create content, support, and resources for professionals and other high achievers who want to address their substance use issue with positive tools, leveraging the science of positive habits. Like, subscribe, and come back for more content to help you or a loved one recover positively. If you'd like more information, support, and tools on how to manage executive stress and enjoy life without drugs, alcohol, or over relying on unhealthy coping, check the description box for a link for a free workbook on managing stress to help stop drinking.